Today, I want to make a quick and short video on the one of the trading code that I posted in our Discord channel. That is, size is a function of risk. Okay, here the size that we are referring to is position size. Okay, what is mean by it is a function of risk. Okay, so I want to start with um, pick one stock from our watch list. Okay, so you all been getting the watch list, right? So let's take one of the candidate. Let's take Herbalife. Okay, HLF. The thought process, I will think loud about the thought process. Okay, and that might give you some clues about like, hey, how would you position this, right? So when I was looking at Herbalife yesterday, last night, right? It went up on good earnings and then it is going sideways. In other words, it is consolidating. Clues that I look for is as the stock is consolidating in a tight range. When I say tight range, right? If you notice here, pay attention here. So it is 0.85, negative 0.85, negative 0.96, 1.73, 0.1, right? All within less than 2% basically. Okay. So what does that tell us? On the day of an event, which is the earnings day, this day, stock went up on a significant high volume, relative volume, and then volume is orderly declining. Okay. So that's a quality trade to me. Okay. It's a quality trade and stock is trading in a tight range after a good event, and that means like it is setting up for another leg potentially. Okay. Now, moving averages are going up. All these are additional confluence indicators, but the core is your price action showing that there is a tight price action and stock is consolidating nicely and volume is declining. That tells me that sellers are drying up. There is no sellers volume. Okay, so that's a good news. If not today, tomorrow, right? It's going to bump up. So we took a trade today, right? We sent an alert on Herbalife today. Hope you got it. This setup is good, but market isn't that great. Okay, as you can see, let's see SPY. Look at SPY here, right? SPY is really choppy. And if you see here, this is a cluster. Ignore all the lines here. It's not pretty. Okay, let me take out the lines. So this is, look at this, right? How messy it is. Is there any clean order like what you see here, right? Or even here, right? No, it has been sideways, chop, 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 right? So whoever gets in, thinking that today is the day they're going to make a killing, right? They will get chopped off to death. So that's the type of the market we are in. So in this kind of market, do I want to risk more money? No, but do I want to test a swing idea? Possibly yes, particularly with the candidates like Herbalife. So I still want to test the waters, but I'm not sure whether that's a good idea to bet higher or not. So I'm going to risk less, but I will try this trade out. Okay. So what does that mean? We are actually deciding how much money to put on this single trade, right? That is the risk, overall risk, right? You want to take. And let's go back to our sweet little sizing calculator. Okay. Let's say your account is 100,000. Okay. For illustration sake, we will take 100,000. Now let's say for Herbalife, okay, uh, assuming that we are entering right now, the price is 1961 and today's low is 1917. Okay. So I need to risk 44 cents a share for this trade. So total risk, right? Let's go to that later. So it tells you how many shares you can take based on the risk percentage. So the percentage here, the risk, right? Sizing is a function of risk. Okay, function of risk. S equal to F of R. So risk here, because of the market conditions, I don't want to risk more, right? But I still want to take a trade because the setup is good, right? Of course, there are two options for me, either to take a trade or just sit in hands and observe what's going on to the stock, right? And come back tomorrow and say like, hey, breakouts are working, these type of setups are working, so we can probably try it, right? That's an observation. So going back, I still decided to go forward with it, okay? But I don't want to risk more. I don't want to risk more than 0.25% of my account. So on a 100,000 account, I'm not risking more than $250. Okay. DC, what is mean by size is a function of risk. So 0.25, let's say I feel gutsy. Herbalife is really good. I believe in that stock. I read the earnings report. I read their forecast. I listened to their guidance call, and everything is rock solid. This company has to go shoot up by $10 or $20. If you have such kind of conviction, then probably you can risk 1% or maybe more, right? Maybe more, 10%. Depends on how confident you feel and have conviction based on your research, right? In this case, for this presentation's sake, let's say we'll go to 1%. That means I'm willing to risk $1,000 and I need to put 44,500 on this specific trade. That's the size we are talking about. Sizing is a function of risk. So once you start aligning every trade into this model, risk taking becomes so easy and you won't hesitate to take trades, okay, because your risk is well defined here, very well defined. I'm going to say like I'm going to risk only 25%, 0.25%. That means I'm only risking $250 per trade. But if you look at the investment, oh my God, it feels like $11,000, but it's not. You're just risking $250, right? We should only focus on this, not this. That's the way of trading. That's the way how professionals do the trading. Okay, so that's why we indirectly, right, we are putting risk first. That is good quality to have in order to be successful in this business. So you are putting the risk first and investment later. Okay, here I'm calling it as an investment. There is no better word, but it's not really an investment. This is a trade. Okay, that's all. Happy to hear if you have any questions, comments, thoughts on this, or if there are any other methods that you know or you follow, right, which can offer better leverage, right? I'm happy to learn. Feel free to post it in the comments or reach out to me. Thank you and bye.